Bhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunj Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Radha Jai Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Yashodanandana Brajachana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Brajachana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Bihari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radhe Aya Radha Madan Mohan, Madan Mohan, Radhe, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari. Yoga Dharma Shri Harinam Sankirtana ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Samveta Gaura Bhaktavinda ki, Sai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudire nashtaprayesha bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 7, text number 6. So it's a prose, so I'll only read. Sampracharatsu Nana Yajeshu Virachitanga Kriyeshu Apurvam Etat Kriya Phalam Dharmakyam Pare Brahmani Yagna Purushe Sarva Devata Linganam Mantranam Artha Niyama Kataya Sakshat Kartari Para Deva Tayam Bhagavati Vasudeva Eva Bhava Yamana Atma Naipunya Mridita Kashayo Vishva Adva Yuvir Grihamaneshu Sayajamano Yagnabhajo Devams Tan Purushava Yavesh Abhyadhyayat. So it's little long purport, quite long. So we'll directly go to translation and purport by His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. After performing the preliminaries of various sacrifices, Maharaj Bharata offered the results in the name of religion to Supreme Personality Godhead Vasudeva. In other words, he performed all the yajnas for the satisfaction of Lord Vasudeva Krishna. Maharaj Bharat thought that since the demigods are different parts of Vasudeva's body, he controls those who are explained in the Vedic mantras. By thinking in this way, Maharaj Bharat was freed from all material contamination such as attachment, lust and greed. When the priests were about to offer the sacrificial ingredients into the fire, Maharaj Bharat expertly understood how the offering made to different demigods was simply an offering to the different limbs of the Lord. For instance, Indra is the arm of the Supreme Personality Godhead, and Surya the sun is his eye. Thus Maharaj Bharat considered that the oblations offered to different demigods were actually offered onto the different limbs of Lord Vasudeva. Purport. The Supreme Personality Godhead says that as long as one does not develop pure devotional service of Shravanam, Kirtanam, hearing and chanting, one must carry out his prescribed duties. Since Maharaj Bharat was a great devotee, one may ask why he performed so many sacrifices that are actually meant for karmis. The fact is that he was simply following the orders of Vasudeva. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Whatever we do, we should constantly remember Vasudeva. People are generally addicted to offering obeisances to various demigods. But Bharat Maharaj simply wanted to please Lord Vasudeva. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Yajna may be carried out to satisfy a particular demigod. But when the yajna is offered to the yajna Purusha, Narayana, the demigods are satisfied. The purpose of performing different yajnas is to satisfy the Supreme Lord. One may perform them in the name of different demigods or directly. If we directly offer oblations to the Supreme Personality Godhead, the demigods are automatically satisfied. If you water the root of a tree, the branches, twigs, fruits, and flowers are automatically satisfied. When one offers sacrifices to different demigods, one should remember that the demigods are simply parts of the body of the Supreme. If we worship the hand of a person, we intend to satisfy the person himself. If we massage a person's legs, we do not really serve the legs, but the person who possesses the legs. All the demigods are different parts of the Lord, and we offer service to them. We actually serve the Lord Himself. Demigod worship is mentioned in Brahma Samhita, but actually the slokas advocate worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda. For instance, worship of the goddess Durga is mentioned in this way in Brahma Samhita. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Reka Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibharte Durga Ichchanurupamapi Yasya Checheshtate Sa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Following the orders of Sri Krishna, the goddess Durga creates, maintains, and annihilates. Sri Krishna also confirms this statement in Bhagavad Gita. Maya dakshena prakriti suyatesa characharam. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and unmoving beings. We should worship the demigods in that spirit, because the goddess Durga satisfies Krishna. We should therefore offer respects to goddess Durga. Because Shiva is nothing but Krishna's functional body, we should therefore offer respects to Lord Shiva. Similarly, we should offer respects to Brahma, Agni, and Surya. There are many offerings to different demigods, but one should always remember that these offerings are usually meant to satisfy the Supreme Personality Godhead. Bharat Maharaj did not aspire to receive some benediction from demigods. His aim was to please the Supreme Lord. In the Mahabharata, among the 1,000 names of Vishnu, it is said Yagna Book, Yagna Krit, Yagna. The enjoyer of Yagna, the performer of Yagna, and the Yagna itself are the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is the performer of everything. Jai Shri Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Jagannath Balle Subhadra Mai Ki Jai. But out of ignorance, the living entity thinks that he is the actor. As long as we think we are the actors, we bring out karma bandha, bondage to activity. If we act for yajna for Krishna, there is no karma bandha. Yajnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work binds one to this material world. Following the instructions of Bharat Maharaj, we should act not for our personal satisfaction, but for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita 17.28, it is also stated, Ashraddhaya hutam dattam tapastaptam kritam chayat asaditi uchyate pardha nachatat pretya noihya. Sacrifices, austerities, and charities performed without faith in the Supreme Personality Godhead are non-permanent. Regardless of whatever rituals are performed, they are called asat, non-permanent. They are therefore useless both in this life and in the next. Kings like Maharaj Ambarish and many other Raja Rishis who were pure devotees of the Lord simply praised their time in the service of the Supreme Lord. When a pure devotee executes some service through the agency of another person, he should not be criticized, for his activities are meant for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. A devotee may have a priest perform some karma kanda, and the priest may not be a pure Vaishnava. But because the devotee wants to please the Supreme Lord, he should not be criticized. The word apurva is very significant. The resultant actions of karma are called apurva. When we act piously or impiously, immediate results do not ensue. We therefore wait for the results which are called apurva. The results are manifest in the future. Even the smartas accept this apurva. Pure devotees simply act for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the results of their activities are spiritual or permanent. They are not like those of the karmis, which are non-permanent. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.23. Gata sangasya muktasya gnanavastita chetasa yagnayacharata karma samagram praviliyate. The work of a man who is unattached to the modes of material nature and who is fully situated in transcendental knowledge merges entirely into transcendence. The devotee is always free from material contamination. He is fully situated in knowledge, and therefore his sacrifices are intended for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ki Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadate Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parishana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatadeshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurasve Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Prem Vancha Kalpa Tarumbhesha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna. I seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas so that I can speak on this verse for the glorification of Lord, purification of my heart. So, Prabhupada in this very elaborate purport is so nicely explaining how one should perform yajna, for whose pleasure. So here we see the activities of King Bharat, the eldest son of Lord Rishabdev. So here his activities as a king are being mentioned. So Prabhupada mentions many aspects in the purport. Prabhupada is mentioning that how initially Prabhupada is mentioning that how Bharat Maharaj is a great devotee, but he should just be engaged in Shravanam Kirtanam, pure devotional activities. Why is he performing all this sacrifices which appear to be like karma kanda activities, performing yajnas, wherein various demigods are also being worshipped. But Prabhupada very nicely explains that how he is seeing actually even worshipping those demigods as non-different from worshipping the Supreme Lord Krishna. So Prabhupada gives one nice analogy that how if you are massaging somebody's hand, actually you are massaging the person. So the demigods are like the hands and legs of the Supreme Lord. Right? So first of all, we should understand that how Krishna is the source of all the demigods. Right? Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. There are so many Ishvaras. Indra and Prabhupada is mentioning so many demigods. So they are also controllers. But the supreme controller is Krishna. Right? Even when Krishna was personally present in this world, you can see he proved. Right? In the Vishwarup he showed everything. Even all the demigods. And even when the demigods tried to test Krishna's supremacy, like Indra and Brahma, they got bewildered and they realized the supreme potency of Krishna. Right? And Krishna, so many ways and means, he proved that he is the supreme personality God. We need not go into details of that. Like he showed universes in his mouth, right? He lifted Govardhan hill, like that, so many wonderful activities. So that we should first of all understand. So, but these demigods are like various hands and limbs of the Supreme Lord. So, a pure devotee of Lord sees everything in relation with the Lord. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam chamai pashyati. One who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost to him and he is never lost to me. So here Bharat Maharaj is teaching us that how we should see Krishna everywhere. So generally the kings perform all these sacrifices for the pleasure of Lord, so that the people in general in the kingdom get benefited. As we see in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhava yagnat bhavati parjanyo. So if you want rains, you have to perform yagna. And we see Srila Prabhupada himself personally proved this fact right in Hyderabad when he was there. So when he came to Hyderabad, I think in 72 or so, so there was drought here for a long time, and because of lack of rains, the paddy and all, they were not able to grow. So people were in great distress. So when Prabhupada came to Hyderabad, he saw that some priests were performing this yagna, sacrifice. So he was asked why they are doing. So they said to bring rains. So Prabhupada said, I will show how to bring rains. This will not work in Kali Yuga. So he took all the devotees in the streets and did Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Sometimes people may think, why this Iskcon people go out on street like this every day, morning. I think they have no work. No, this is the greatest welfare work, Prabhupada said. Actually chanting the holy names, they don't understand that this is what actually pleases Krishna. And by pleasing Krishna, Krishna through Mother Nature will provide everything required. Right? As we read in the previous verses also. So actually when you please Krishna, then Mother Nature is pleased, she will provide everything required. So kings like Bharat, they had this faith that if you please Krishna, he will arrange everything required. So that's why they were performing this yagnas. It's not like time pass, they didn't have anything to do, so they just are doing this kind of activities. Not like that. So, and Prabhupada clearly mentions that the yagna recommended for Kali Yuga is Sankirtan yagna. Right? So that's why Prabhupada wanted this Sankirtan to be performed all over the world. Now Sankirtan, Prabhupada also said not only chanting, dancing, but also distributing his transcendental literature that is also Sankirtan. Because that also spreads Krishna's holy names by studying those books, and people get transformed and they also start chanting. The purpose is solved, that basically people should chant. So that's why that is also Sankirtan, right? Glorification of the Supreme Lord. So, sometimes we see that devotees get bewildered while dealing with material nature. When you work outside, when you go outside, many devotees feel that they are not able to remain Krishna conscious, right? They are able to remain at least to certain extent Krishna conscious while they are in the association, when they are in the temple. But when they go outside, they get easily distracted. So, but here Bharat Maharaj is teaching us how we should learn to be Krishna conscious by seeing everything in relation with Krishna. That's why in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also tells about not only himself but also his energies. How all the 5 gross, 3 subtle elements, and how he is the best of everything. And later in the 10th chapter, he talks about his opulences. How is the essence of everything. So why is he telling all that in Bhagavad Gita? So that we can easily remember him. Like Rasoham Apsu Kaunteya. So Prabhupada says just by drinking water, while drinking, you can remember that this is the taste of Krishna. Krishna is giving this taste for this water. So you are easily Krishna conscious. To the extent Prabhupada said, even if somebody is addicted to drinking alcohol, if he thinks while drinking that this taste is Krishna, slowly he will get purified and he will give up, because Krishna is Shuddham, Pavitram. By remembering, chanting his name, he will get purified and give up those bad activities. So, we also should learn to see everything in relation with Krishna while living in this world. So, as Prabhupada is mentioning, Yagnarthat Karmano Yatra Lokoyam Karma Bandhana. If you perform the sacrifice or your work as an offering to Lord Vishnu, then you will be removed from the bondage. But if you perform for yourself, then you will be bound in this Karma Bandhana. So, even while working in this world, if our consciousness is that we are working for Krishna, okay, and trying to remember Krishna, Ma Manusmara Yuddhacha. Krishna told, even when you are fighting, you try to remember me and fight. Means while fighting, it is obviously very difficult. So still he is saying that you remember me and fight. So now question may come that how can we remember? It's not very easy. So Prabhupada gives one nice analogy that a businessman, suppose he is learning, first time he is learning car. So while learning car, initially his whole focus will be on steering and direction. He will focus so much on various parts of the car and how to drive. So much he is absorbed in that, right? But later on, as he becomes expert in driving, so Prabhupada says that he may be driving, but he is thinking about his business, how to increase his business, like what all new steps he should take. So because he has become expert in his car driving, so same time he is able to think about his business also. So in similar way, Prabhupada says that we should become very expert in our material duties. So our body may be doing those activities, but our mind can be absorbed in Krishna, right? So that way we can become Krishna. But for that you have to become attached. Like businessman is attached with his business, but our business is the 9 process of devotional service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu has made that one book, Our Family Business. So somebody may say, hey, what is our family business? So our family business is Sankirtan, book distribution. Prabhupada, he says that how Prabhupada is so much stressed. So basically a devotee can be absorbed in how to serve Krishna, right? How to remember him, right? So this is one way one can actually train. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das Goswami when he want to give up everything, he said, right? He said, you don't be a Markat Vairagi. Don't just renounce. So he said, first become like an expert materialist. You work, but at the same time internally think of Radha Krishna. So in a similar way, there is another analogy by which we can remember Krishna. So just like mother in a home, suppose the child goes to school. So there are so many things in the child's room. His clothes, his toys, his books. So she may be cleaning the room, arranging things, washing his clothes. But while doing all that, she is thinking about the child, not just the things. Right? She is very fondly remembering the child because she is attached to the child. Right? So she is very fondly also able to remember. So similarly, a devotee of Lord, he sees everything in relation with Krishna. Right? That this is Krishna's. This land belongs to Krishna. So everything belongs to Krishna. This flower belongs to Krishna. Because ultimately, Krishna is Aham Bija Prajapita. He is the seed giving father. Everything, Bhoktaram, Yajna Tapasam, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram means he is the supreme controller of all the planets. So not only all planets means also this planet also. When we say this planet, okay, he may be controller for this planet, but not my house. No. That means he is the controller for every house, every land, every tree, every living entity. So it's not that, okay, Krishna, you manage nature or other things, but I am the controller for my house. No, not like that. He is a controller for everything. So that is the consciousness. So ultimately, he is a proprietor for everything. Right? As in this, Prabhupada is nicely quoting in the Vishnu Sahasranam, Yajna book, Yajna Krit, Yajna. That he is the enjoyer of Yajna, performer of Yajna, and the Yajna itself. Right? So, he arranges everything for the Yajna also, ultimately. Correct? Whatever we use, that is also ultimately given by Krishna. Correct? The body also is ultimately given by Krishna. So, it is easy to remember Krishna. It's not difficult. Right? But the point is, you have to train yourself, train your mind to orient yourself. First, we have to hear the glories of Krishna, understand his greatness, and also understand his merciful nature, sweetness. Then you will be attracted by Krishna. Then it becomes easy to remember him in every situation of life. So another thing is that he is performing these yajnas for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu. So similarly, when we perform various activities, we should remember this. That we should perform those activities for the pleasure of Lord. Right? Atmendriya Priti Vanche, Tare Bale Kam, Krishnendriya Priti Vanche, Tare Bale Prem. So if you perform activities to please your own senses, that is lust. But if you perform to please the senses of Lord Krishna, it is Prem. So, but in general, by activities alone, you may not understand. Like Prabhupada says, so many are working. Devotees working and non-devotees are also working. In the same company, both may be working. So one may think, he is also working, he is also working. What is the difference? Right? But the consciousness is different. A devotee works for the pleasure of Krishna. Now when we say he works for pleasure of Krishna, that doesn't mean that only in emotion or in thought. So because Krishna says, what is Karma Yoga. So also offering the results to Krishna, right? So that's why he's saying, Karmeni vidikaraste ma phaleshu kada. Don't expect the results. It is in his hand. And ultimately it is meant for his pleasure. So the results also should be offered in his service. Like Prabhupada says, how when one works, we should also offer the results of Lakshmi in service of Lord Narayan. Right? That we are not the enjoyers, Krishna is the enjoyer. So that should be very clear. Ata pumbir dvijashreshta varnashrama vibhagasha swanashtitisir samsiddhir haritoshanam. So the purpose of the varnashram system is ultimately haritoshanam, for the pleasure of Lord Hari. So now Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Yajnanam japa yajnosmi. Right? Amongst all the yajnas, I am japa yajna. Right? So this is one way by which we can actually please Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna very much. Right? Because he himself is saying, right? And that is a process recommended by Srila Prabhupada also. So when we are chanting Hare Krishna every day, when we are chanting or doing kirtan, right? Or while we are doing japa, so the most important thing is whether we are chanting to please Lord or we are just chanting the way our mind dictates. So how do we know whether we are really Krishna conscious while chanting? So if we are chanting as per Guru Sadhu Shastra, right, the way they have prescribed, then we are Krishna conscious. But if we are not chanting as per their prescription, then it's very simple. Manorathena sadavato bahi. You are simply following your mind. Right? So whatever activity, not only chanting, but whatever activity we are doing, we should always remember this very important fact. Whether I am hearing Bhagavatam or whether I am doing some backup or whether I am distributing books. So the fact is that we should always analyze whether we are acting as per Guru Sadhu Shastra. So many times our mind is cheating us, right? Mind is creating so many obstacles. So recently I was hearing one lecture. So when obstacles come, actually it is a wonderful opportunity for us. Why? Because normally you will be able to keep your mind on Krishna. Like no, suppose you are chanting and that day mind is normal and you are able to focus. It is good. But suppose some days mind is so much rebellious. So His Holiness Radhan Maharaj was telling that it is a wonderful opportunity. Arey, if mind is rebellious, how it is wonderful opportunity? Because even in that disturbance, you are still putting sincere efforts to keep the mind on Krishna. So Krishna will be even more pleased. Oh, this devotee, even when mind is so much troubling, still he is trying to put the mind on Krishna. So that pleases Krishna even more. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, why is he so glorious? Because even after so many troubles by his father, trying to kill him in all the possible ways, because I think Hiranyakashipu showed people in this world how one can kill all the possible ways. So he tried all the possible ways to kill Prahlad. But still Prahlad was completely fearless, satisfied, and just depending on Lord. That's why Hiranyakashipu was completely frustrated. Why? Because he tried all the possible ways, still he is not killed. I am able to control all the demigods, but my own child, small 5-year-old child, this fellow I am not able to control. So that's why he is frustrated. So that's why Narasimhadevi is so much pleased that how this small child is able to tolerate so much and still focused on me. So we should understand that, yeah, We are conditioned souls. Our japa is disturbed by sleep, mind distractions. But still, we should think uh, this is a wonderful opportunity, not for sleeping or to show Krishna that I really want you, Krishna. So let me put my sincere efforts. Not that, okay, I had little less rest, so let me cover in this 2 hours time. Not like that. So, so like that, every activity one should think, how can I do it for the pleasure of Guru Sadhu Shastra. And finally, today is Ramananda Rai's disappearance day. So it's mentioned that is both Lalita Shakti and Arjuna, Vishaka and Arjuna. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was visiting South India, Sarama Bhattacharya specifically mentions that you should meet this great devotee. He was governor under this Pratap Rudra, King Pratap Rudra, taking care of huge states. So, but he was from a Kayastha community, Shudra family. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, I'll not explain everything in detail, but so he embraces this Ramananda Rai and they both get into ecstasy. But seeing the caste Brahmanas, they stop because they think, oh, how this sannyasi is touching a Shudra, because those days it was condemned. And then they go to a secluded place and there Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I am a Mayavadi. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, but he is teaching us how we should take a humble stand, especially in the sense how we should hear. I am such a fallen soul, Mayavadi. Please explain me about Krishna, Krishna Tattva, Krishna Rasa. Then he asks, what is the highest mellow of devotional service? We know how Ramananda explains right from Varnashrama to the end, how Gopi's love for Krishna is the highest. Ultimately, Srimati Radharani's love is the highest. And finally, Ramananda Rai tells, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells, glorifies him. And Ramananda Rai see his humility. He says, my tongue is just a instrument in your hands. I am just speaking as you are directing. He doesn't take credit. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you give up all this, you come to Jagannath Puri. And he gives up also. He doesn't say, hey, I am governor. He doesn't say like that. And King Pratap Rudra is so pleased that he gave up. Like no boss is pleased if a very capable person leaves the job. But he says, I am so pleased that you left this job for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu service. I will give pension also. Don't worry. For whole life. Same, that salary I will give you as pension. You keep serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why actually Lord Chaitanya initially rejects King Pratap Rudra, but actually he is so pleased with him because he served Ramananda Rai and all the Vaishnavas who came for Rathayatra and all. So we see that Ramananda Rai also is known for his sense control. When the young ladies would actually perform drama or dance for Jagannath, he would actually dress them. Somebody may say, hey, how he can do that? Because he is Vishaka. He is in the mood of Gopi, thinking that how these gopis should be engaged in Krishna service. But we should not imitate. Prabhupada says, we cannot imitate. Oh, see, Ramananda Rai did. So he is absorbed in that mood of Vishaka. So we are not his eternal associates like that. So we are conditioned souls. But the point is how he was always actually acting for the pleasure of Lord Chaitanya, especially in Jagannath Puri, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was experiencing so much separation from Krishna, he would actually tell all these mellows of Radha Krishna and give him pleasure. So we pray to Ramananda Rai that may we also understand this highest mellows of Radha and Krishna and develop that real, genuine attachment to Krishna. Hare Krishna. Sri Ramananda Raya ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai.